But first, I'd like to welcome all of you to this very important and timely cabinet retreat. Of course, as you heard from the Chief Minister, I directed him and have been after him to make sure that this meeting takes place. Our business is to deliver for several reasons. We are political animals, and to be current, we must deliver. We are going to be assessed at the end of this political term, and the only way we are going to act is to make sure that we deliver. But as elites, as educated people, we all know that we owe this country, Sierra Leone, the land that we love. And therefore it is incumbent upon us to deliver, to make life better. For this generation of leaders, we have been blessed to be at the helm, and therefore we use these positions to be able to make a difference in this country. So besides the assessment, we owe it to more than 8 million people. We have an instrument of power. We are sitting in the different positions, ministries, and so on. And therefore, we have to make sure we deliver. It is an opportunity for us to speak the truth to one another. Where it is necessary, we have to say the bitter truth, because we are here to recalibrate and to set ourselves on a path to delivery. We must bear in mind that the weight, what we carry, is a weighty task. But we must be able to carry this weight with humility and a high sense and mindset to deliver. We are called to serve, and therefore we are servants of the nation. During the first term, we have been able to change the landscape for women and their participation in the political and economic spheres. We have invested in foundational education for our children, and we have enhanced the democratic space. And as your leader and team leader, I will say this is not enough. We have only started the job. We have only started this job. So for this second term, we are here so that I can fine-tune, so that we can really get together and have a shared understanding of what it takes and what it means to be able to deliver. A shared understanding of what it takes to deliver. And I've told you why we should deliver. With this mindset, I want to register first my sincere concern about the performance I've observed over the last 1 year. We have not been truly inspiring as we ought to be. We have to be at our optimum. I put this thing together because I cannot walk alone. And I am counting on each and every one of you to step up. We are in a time of great difficulty, both at home and abroad, economically and socially. And the expectations of our people are not standard. They are quite high. Unfortunately, my observation is that some team members seem to be going siloed with very little dynamism. To solve complex problems, we need several heads together. And this is a unit made of different components. If you know how your watch works, this is how this unit should work. It's one body with different components, and every part makes the other to work, and in concert, you deliver. If you decide to work in silos, definitely that's a disservice. And it cannot work. To you, it's a disservice to you and to all of us. Because it takes all of you to work together in concert in order for us to have the result that we truly desire. I gave the analogy of the watch, how it works. Nobody should work in silos. And in solving extremely difficult problems, it is always nice to pick on the brain of others who may have more experience or who may know what you are dealing with. That is one problem that continues to impede the progress that we are making. We must have a candid conversation about our responsibilities and to deliver on the big 5 game changes. There is no time for excuses or expanded explanations. Rather, we should find solutions. Solutions are what we are here for. That is why very soon some of you will go great, those who are working very hard. Because you are thinking all the time. At night, even when you dream, you are thinking. True. So you go very great like the youth minister. I made promises to the people of this country. In my public life, I have never failed, and I will not fail. I will not accept anyone to stand in the back. If you truly want to be a member of this team that will go into posterity as having been a truly contributing member of this great team, you have to step up. It's a great team, but I think there are attitudinal problems that need to be corrected. Most of us in Sierra Leone believe that we can give excuses, and those excuses are enough to take us through. No, we find solutions. And those solutions can come about by deep thinking. Sometimes by collaboration, sometimes by reference to others. I have not lost sight of those promises I made to the people of this country. And I have gathered you as a team for us to be able to deliver on those promises. Because I have to give a hand, and I have to do so on behalf of my great party, the Sierra Leone People's Party. We have to deliver. We have made a promise. And when I talk, I do exactly as I talk. And I want you to be in that mindset. The promises I made are a social contract between myself, this administration, and the people in general. We have to fulfill those social contracts. Without them, we are not worthy to be in this position. Without them, we have failed. And failure should not be a part of this administration. Of course, let me just let you know that this is not a thankful job. Don't expect that people are going to say thank you. You work because you have a task. Maybe they will say thank you much, much later in your life when you have forgotten the many things that you even did. But don't expect thank you while you are working. We live in a world that is extremely difficult, as you all know. And therefore, our people expect that we should be able to reduce the burden, to cushion the effects of the global shocks. That is what they expect of us. Of course, I know there are resource constraints. I know there are a lot of other constraints. But I don't dwell on excuses, as I've already said to you. The job must be done. How do we do that? By being creative, innovative. You must be innovative around solving problems that are there. A lot of us are stuck in the past and are too conventional to deal with a lot of the challenges that we face. Don't let anything sit on your desk for more than an hour. Don't find an excuse to give to the president, the chief minister, or the vice president why it has not been done. There is always a way. There is always a way out. Think through. If you cannot, bring other people to think. Look at best practices elsewhere. There is internet available. You can always check what you are doing with what has been done by others elsewhere and where it has worked. So, our business is to make sure that we keep our people happy. Our business is to make sure that we develop this nation. Funding and logistics support is required by hand to support social delivery. But like I said, we have to be creative and innovative. And for the most part, people will sit and not do anything because there is virtually nothing. There are times when in certain ministries, depending on the type of ministry you run, you don't have to wait for finance, the Ministry of Finance. There are ways to get money. Legal ways. Legal ways to get money to run your ministry. I mean, we are facing extremely difficult times. An uphill task. But I believe that the Lord has given us this position to be here in history, and He is going to provide for us. It means that we also have to think a little bit more. And there are times it's good to scout around for all alternative sources of finance, rather than just sit down and say, I am not going to do anything. Read and understand what you want to do. And afford, make endeavor to work with people. Nobody, no ministry or department is going to work alone or can work alone. I will keep saying this until I stand like an old record. And in fact, in some cases, why others struggle for resources, there are ministries that have resources that they have not been able to spend, to use, sometimes running into millions of dollars because the system is not effective. The Vice President had a unpleasant situation when I sent him for OIC and he went begging. And then they said to him, okay, here's your portfolio, sir, for Sierra Leone. You still have 400 million you have not spent. What are you asking for again? Because some people just want easy access to money and they don't even take the time to understand the portfolios in their ministries, departments that they can tap into. So it's always expectation of new money when there is old money, millions of dollars. I told him if I were him, I would just disappear in thin air because that is very embarrassing. Because when we go out, we are looking for resources in our business. The taxes that we collect are not even enough to run the government. Our revenue. And how do we get money? By sound economic management, so run programs with the IMF and the World Bank and other development partners, the EU, for budgetary support and other things. So if we have to be able to embark on the development projects that we talk about, we have to go out and beg. We have to be part of the international community. They have to see us in certain quarters. That is when a lot of people don't understand. Some of the most effective presidents in the world travel almost every day. I cannot sit here and get money. The millions of dollars we are able to pour into education, we did not get. We cannot get it from our budget. Let's face it. We have to go out and make friends, establish or strengthen contacts. And that takes me to travel. A lot of people travel because there is travel. We have to guard against that. Because even your time is valuable to us. It's not just, sometimes people think when they say at no cost to government, that is the easy way out. No. Being here and doing our job, the job of the people, is very important. So if there is no necessity, if there is no value in traveling, just to go and maybe just talk and return here 3-4 days, don't go. We have embassies and missions out there. If it is that important that we need to be present, we can get the missions to go there and send the report at the end of the day. We don't have to travel. We travel to be able to fetch the much needed resources to finance our development. What we get here is hardly enough. The Minister of Finance maybe should be able to do Chief Minister and Cabinet Secretariat an expose or a synopsis of our economic situation, the performance of revenue, and how we all need to be on our guard as to how we spend the little that comes in. On a monthly basis, we sit down and prioritize where to pay first so that we are able to go through all of this. The debt burden is huge. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is really about trying to be the good part of history. I said earlier that we did extremely well in the first term, and we want to do even better in this term. And I'm not mistaken to have chosen all of you to be here. I believe that we can and we must avoid distraction. Avoid distraction. There is too much out there. You have to know what you want. And the performance thing has been said with the chief minister, which I also honored. So you know what has to be done. Make sure that that becomes your daily reference book. And besides your ministries, when I spoke about support, you also have units within the government. If you contact cabinet secretary, they'll be able to tell you how to access, especially for help. If you are in doubt, government business is a very complex one. It can be complicated, especially for newcomers, even for those who've been there. There are times when you get to struggle or at a loss as to what to do. Don't be shy. In fact, that is part of the learning process. Always ask. Continue to ask. There are units within the presidency. You have senior members of government. You have senior civil servants who can help. I know some of you have problems with civil servants. We have to solve that problem because, like I said, it's a unit. We can't dispose of them, so we make them useful. We tune them so that they can be part of what we are doing. You have to make sure they are properly tuned to align to what we want to do. They are human beings, remember? And we also have, that is the carrot part of it. And when you start working, a lot of times, actually everybody asks for the revision of their permanent sections. If we rotate all of them, we are recycling. The problem that is here goes over there, and the other one goes over there, and then after a week, we start again. So the head of the civil service is here. Of course, there are problems, capacity problems, attitudinal problems that impact delivery, and we must keep talking and solving these problems, talking about them. We should not stop. So, Mr. Head of Civil Service, that is another thing that has to be dealt with. A lot of the ministers, almost all of them, there is a mindset that we are only, as political beings, we are only here for a while. And therefore we are time bound, which is true. And therefore we should be in haste to deliver. We are 1 year into this time already. So we don't have the time that permanent secretaries have. They are permanent. We have to deliver and lead. We have to deliver for our party because I want us to set this party aside as a party that delivers on its promises. This country should move. Politics is not what moves the country. It is our determination, sincerity, commitment to doing those things that we know have moved other nations and we can do here. And we have what it takes to do it. So that is why I'm providing this leadership to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, let's move things. Let's not lag behind. We have started very well in the first time, and therefore we need to continue to deliver. Relationships. Especially between ministers and their deputies, has not been the best. Conflict management should be embedded in our relationships. Knowing full well that we are from different disciplines, cultures, different sort of experiences, and so on and so forth. You don't have to be friends to work. You only have to know that you have to deliver. You have a common purpose. You either say yes sir or yes ma'am, or somebody says yes ma'am or yes sir to you. So if we can understand that and use that basis for delivery, we'll be able to work. We should pay attention to that. You have to work. You can never work alone. You can never work alone. And this is not for Liverpool. So, again, for me, I see this as a great team if we make the effort to keep it together as a team. There is social capital in knowing that I can call my colleague at night, not at the dead of night, 1 o'clock in the morning, if you don't have any special relationship, to say, I'm in doubt about this. Can you help? Or can we talk in the morning? You should not sleep over matters. You should have access to one another. Most times we depend on correspondences, writing, or the grammar. And it takes another week for it to get to the next post. And it may not be open for another week. And then we start to quarrel. And we take our quarrels to the public through social media. That has happened. And that should not be happening. This is a unit. It should be corporate. We should work together. We should endeavor to be each other's keeper. There are always going to be events coming in from time to time. That is the nature of relationship. It's almost natural. When they do skin grafting, they make sure that it works. They're not going to take a foreign body and try to put it, No, they take another part of you to make sure it works. We are here for Sierra Leone. We want to change Sierra Leone. We have started changing. Today, the last time when I campaigned, I quoted most of the statistics, how we reduced maternal mortality by a whopping 61%. How we are able to, from a war-torn country, to reach this point where we can now go to the international community and say we want to be at the UN Security Council and to be voted almost unanimously. In August, Sierra Leone is chairing the UN Security Council. You are clapping because you will not be sitting there. If you know the nature of what is there, you will not be clapping, and this is not the time you want to go to the UN Security Council. But that is what we are going to do. A small nation. So we are moving, albeit slowly. Today, in terms of gender empowerment, we are considered to be leaders. Sierra Leone, around the world, they want to see how we did it. In Kenya, I think they've had it in parliament for as long as 15 or more years. It cannot go through. So, we are moving. Let's continue to move. Don't be discouraged. Don't despair because of what certain people say. So today it's not just about forging us to work together, it's also about encouraging you because it's a hard task. We inherited all of these problems, and because we are ambitious, we want to resolve them before we leave. That is what makes it difficult. Some of the problems are older than most of you seated here. But we want to solve them in our own lifetime, in the short time that we have, without the requisite resources, against an international atmosphere that is really, really difficult. Things are tough, but I have never used that as an excuse. And I don't want us to use that. We should continue to fight as hard as we are. You know, one of the greatest men, Sierra Leone, is Senghor Pierre. The man that took him to slavery and took him as far as America, rebelled, got rid of his master on the boat, and then went and landed in the United States. As a matter of fact, his case was the first civil rights case in the court, in the Supreme Court of the United States. That is the spirit we should imbibe. We should not be losers. Don't be quitters. People are going to talk as if we have done nothing, or we are not doing anything. Stay the course. Keep your eye on the ball. We have the big 5 game changers. We have to deliver on those. We said we will bring free education. They said it was not possible. Today it is history. We will consolidate our records in that area. We are going to feed Sierra Leone. And when we say feeding, I think it's more about rice. And that's why you are clapping, I know. Urgency. I've touched on that. Don't let things sit on your desk for more than it is necessary. Always treat every aspect of governance with urgency. Make sure you get things done as quickly as possible so that you will jump to the order, because in governance there are new things almost every day, as you know. If you don't deal with the matter that is before you, something else adds up the following day, and you forget about that one, and that is how we are not able to deliver. Collaboration and cooperation. You don't have to be friends, but be good workmates. Be good Sierra Leonean patriots. You have to deliver for this country. We cannot afford to be that part of history. We have blamed past generations for not working, for being corrupt, for not doing anything. We don't have to be a part of that history. We can change. And we have the means. I can see amongst all of you, I see the zest. Don't allow anybody to dampen that zeal. So the collaboration we are talking about has to be right across, both horizontal and vertical at all times. If you don't do that, you are not going to be able to work. Commitment and devotion is, I would expect everyone that has been honored in the position to be committed to what you do. This may be the only time that you are at the national level to contribute. You may come another time, but for this time, make sure you do your best. Make sure you do your best. Be dedicated to your work. Of course, we do expect social mobility for everything that we do. We want to grow in the careers that you are professions and the chosen careers. But if you come to the public life, for the time that you are there, show commitment and devotion to issues of public nature. We have a lot of people, when you go around this country, you will see that a lot of people are looking up to us. If we don't perform, they perish. Many die. Many will continue to suffer. And in addition to commitment and devotion to duty, I think we have to avoid unnecessary rivalry, either at the agency or ministerial level or among or between you people. The only way we can succeed is to make sure that we work together. We are going to be working together for the rest of our lives, especially for those of you who are still very young. You have only started and you are only writing your resume. Write them properly. They will serve you for the future. What is going to be our legacy as an administration, as a government that has dedicated itself to human capital development? What should the people remember us for? Why should they remember us? We have to build that legacy. I see that there is a lot of juggling for who takes my seat. But I just want to use this opportunity for us to know that the best way to get things done is to make sure that I or we deliver. When I was campaigning, I would stand for 30 minutes and just keep counting our achievements with data. Supported, when you talk about it, we are still having problems with, getting things done with MCC. But what did we do? So because of good governance, that we were dashed with $90 or $95 million. That is yet to come because politics is still creeping in from time to time, but it's going to come. We are at the very tail end of it. So, I believe that for the commitment we have made to human capital, which I have always put together as health, education, and food security, we should leave that. A lot is being done on the health front, and that reminds me about us keeping our own data, making sure that we have data. Evidence-based decisions are the best. Today, you just can't go and say, I have done this, I have done that. No, you have to produce evidence. And in our case, most of what has been attributed to us, we are actually collected by international, independent international bodies. The WHO was surprised to notice that we had reduced maternal mortality. How do we keep that record? They are surprised that we had the audacity to change the 60-year-old law to abolish completely death penalty, to remove from our law books, the seditious libel law. So, besides certain tangibles, we have not been timid in taking decisions. We have been bold. So we must make bold and big decisions. Bold and big decisions. Do it in the interest of the country, and you will never regret it. That is what we have to do, because we are in big old problems. So our efforts must be huge to get out of those and to catch up with the rest of the world. And I will encourage us all to use technology to mitigate our effort if we are going to be able to solve the many challenges that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, we must deliver and deliver now. It is a promise that I made to this nation, and we have to take bold, unconventional, innovative actions, and it takes a committed leadership. This is why I have been insisting on having this meeting, for us to have a shared understanding, commitment, and then forge ahead. I hope that this meeting will correct some of the misconceptions we have about how governance should be, and be able to bring us together so that we can deliver on the promises that we made. When I make promise, I deliver on that promise. And let that be the thing that will leave with the Sierra Leone People's Party, the only party that does not lie, the only party that is committed to delivering this nation. So, it takes people like you, and that is why I thought it was necessary to talk to you. And it's going to take all of us to understand that we are in this together. Don't feel lonely. We are in this together. This is a team. The analogy of a team is the best way to put this. When another man messes up, and you're not going to say, oh no, he has messed up, I'm going to allow the ball to go into the goal. Defend. Defend. Speak with one voice. Use the media judiciously. That is another thing. We have to let the people know in a very constructive way what we are doing. The competition for information out there is indescribable today. And there are so many means to send it out there. If you don't send your own version, somebody is going to create a version that will be difficult for you to deny. Or you will have to spend a lot of time trying to refute it. So, there is so much. We may be lucky, but we are facing a very difficult time. The headwind is strong. Economically, Globally, the world is confused. We are killing more people, we are using more bombs today than using the money to develop humanity. We have become so uncivilized as a world. We are so numb to the many that are dying. We see it, and yet we have a global system that does not allow us to act and stop the carnage that is happening in a place like Gaza. And yet, a small nation like us is going to have to decide over that. Come August, we have to be there to see, and again, the dysfunctional international system will make us almost like furniture sitting there, because we do everything and it is better. Yes, just say stop fighting, they say we better eat. Stop killing, they better eat. So, I see some people pray for problems in this country. You know, we want to fight, we want another war. Let's work hard, because if you start another war, nobody is going to come to your aid. Sudan is perishing. People are dying. So today is a momentous occasion for us to come together, to understand and acknowledge the fact that we are not rivals. We are one people. We are one unit. Different companies doing different things to achieve the common goal. That one goal is to make Sierra Leone proud, is to relieve our people, is to make sure that we lessen the burden on our people. Most of them don't have any clean drinking water, cannot live in good houses, and it's worsened by the fact that, you know, even climate change is taking its own toll. So we have so much to do. That's why I said the expectations are not standard. They are very high, and we must rise to that occasion. On that note, I hope I've spoken to some, if not all, the issues that impact delivery amongst us, and that we will take this in good faith and work for the betterment of Sierra Leone. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the motivation advice. Ladies and gentlemen, on the program, we have a photo session. Kindly permit me to explain the order. His Excellency, the Vice President and the First Lady and High Table will remain seated, and I will kindly request